Set for the second half from Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville. Work to do for the home side, down 2-0. Good urgency from North Carolina. But the return of Caroline, her first appearance in 4 weeks, and underway in the second half. North Carolina in white, Racing Louisville in black. And what can Racing Louisville do, Ryan Davis, to get back into this game?
Well, we saw McDonald get her opportunity with a press on North Carolina and catching them out of position. I think the same thing has to be done in this first 15 minutes. I think this Louisville team have to come out with high energy and try to outpace this North Carolina team who spent a lot of energy in the first half, and try to catch them in that same sort of outpacing them, and then catch them on a counter press to try and get this game back. You and I were just talking at the half. I think if Louisville don't try to get a goal in the opening 20 minutes, it's going to be too tall of an order in the last 25 to get back those 2 goals.
Just McDonald in offside position as Fox pushed forward. McDonald hit the post in the first half. Think about some of the numbers. That first half expected goals, 0.57 for North Carolina. Louisville, 0.47. That tells me that North Carolina took the most of its chances.
And also they're putting the ball in the position where it's most dangerous, where chances are being created. So it really gives you a picture overall offensively of what the team is doing with the ball.
Another impressive number for North Carolina in the first half. 40 final third entries. So they entered the final third of Racing Louisville almost once per minute.
And I think that has a lot to do with their forward, Caroline, on the ball right now. You get the ball to her feet and so much pressure is taken off of the midfield. She gets to turn now, dictate, and really put Louisville with their backs against the wall when the number 9 gets the ball.
Now, Racing Louisville, for its part, 24 final third entries, so they were a team that attacked quite well. A chance for Malay. McDonald off the post. McDonald had another header. CC Kaiser was dangerous. So this team that expects to score at least once every match did a lot of things right in that first half, but just 2 moments of magic from North Carolina for a 2-0 lead.
I think North Carolina, we talked about the urgency, and it was so indicative in the opening minutes of the game that the set piece goal that they got was purely out of effort, and a bit of a heads up play by Debina as we see another back heel.
Caroline leads it. It's a takeover for Debina. She'll never mind that. Long touch gets away from her. Bonner into a tackle to clear. Now, if you have the ball and Debina is nearby, if you're on her team, you'd be expecting a takeover.
You better look for the flick. I mean, she's either going to flick on or she's going to turn on her marker, which is exactly what you want.
Caroline's done well. They really played it carefully with Caroline injured in the Challenge Cup championship match, as we see Emily Fox. In our conversations with Sean Ayos about her, how close is she? Oh, she might come off the bench. They thought she might play against Houston last week. But she does not look like she's missed a month and is easing back from injury.
No, I think we talked about it's like riding a bike, but I think all the work has been done off the field in rehabbing. And then when you're practicing, it's a bit of a slow practice. And it sort of just all kind of comes back to you. You get a bit of a rhythm going. And when she gets the ball played to her feet, nothing complicated. And the team realizes that. They keep it kind of simple for her. She turns, faces her marker, and does what she does best, which is absolute skill on the ball.
Good pressure here. It's good physicality from Howell. Hersig across the back to the goal scorer, Kaylee Kurtz. She entered the league in 2018. She gets her first regular season goal in season 5. Of course, with North Carolina's prolific scoring over the years, they haven't needed Kurtz to score much. Here's Caroline in the channel. Ordonez to her right. Debina's arriving. Another fine play from Bonner. She's covered a lot of ground wearing the armband tonight.
Well, as a center back, you have to anticipate the play, and she was anticipating Caroline cutting back on that right foot. Just trailed her back leg, and as Carolina tried to cut in, the back leg caught the ball. Just brilliant defending by Bonner.
Fox away from Caroline, picks her head up. Pickett read the angle. Now Fox is displaced. North Carolina can capitalize. Pickett takes the space. Pinto with her head up. Pickett really wants it on the left side.
Well, Pinto just not looking on the left-hand side, waiting for the right back to show up. But North Carolina, when you're up 2-0, there is no rush. And Pinto just not seeing the space and deciding to slow things down.
Here's Pickett with the early delivery. Well defended. There was Ordonez arriving. Now it's Fox. Last touched by Fox. It's a corner kick to Carson Pickett in North Carolina Courage.
Pickett is non-stop up this left-hand side. If you're playing right back and have to oppose her for 90 minutes, get ready to bring your dinner, Matt, because it's going to be a long night.
I would not want to defend her. So good with both feet. Of course, left-footed, but she can cut to her right, deliver a good ball with her right. So creative, unpredictable. To the back post, Lund punches away, and a foul committed before Caroline can tee it up.
Great goalkeeper by Lund. You have to command that 6-yard box. Take the pressure off of your centre-backs. And that ball was played too closely to the goalkeeper. And Lund doing what she's supposed to do, commanding that 6-yard box. Good strong punch. You can see Ordonez is coming in late.
Ordonez is a handful. She is strong. She is tall. She can jump. And
she times the jump. You saw the goal just before the half. The timing of the jump is so important as well.
One will restart. Second year with Louisville. Played college soccer at Arkansas and TCU. Native of Plano, Texas. Two in the first half for North Carolina Courage. Kurtz and Ordonez. Work to do for Racing Louisville. Shut out against Kansas City on Monday. Scoreless for the first 52 minutes tonight.
Matt, I'm looking at the body language of North Carolina here. The most dangerous scoreline in football is 2-0. It's just enough for the attacking team, sorry, the winning team, to take their foot off the gas just a little, and just enough for the losing team to put the pedal right down to the metal. Look at the body language by North Carolina. It's not just about tonight. It's about for the rest of the season. It's about kick-starting their season. Look at the energy they're portraying right out of the gates, out of the dressing room. It is absolutely pedal to the metal, and they're up 2-0.
DeMello booked for that challenge.
Well, when you're the leading tackler in the league, these things are going to happen. DeMello getting the yellow card, just being physical.
I think Sullivan's okay by the view of her teammates.
Turned by Sullivan, and there's DeMello, just went right through her. Good call by the referee, but it's part of Sullivan's MO.
DeMello in the book. Number 4 pick out of USC. And a player that Coach Bjorkegren told us he gave her the chance at the Challenge Cup, and she has not left the starting lineup since, and now he'll go to the bench. Freya Olafsson, typical starter, comes off the bench tonight to replace Rebecca Holloway. The Swedish midfielder is on. And we'll see if they make a tactical change here, because Holloway was playing left back. We see Olafsson giving some instructions there to Howell. Maybe someone will slide over to Holloway's position. Olafsson and Howell talking things over, and you can see the frustration sort of building here for Racing Louisville at home, down by 2 goals.
Yeah, you can see the urgency setting in here. They realize 2-0 is a tall order. We're already 10 minutes into the second half. And I tell you what, North Carolina does not show that they're going to give an inch in this lead. So Louisville are going to have to find some other way tactically to try and get back into this game.
There's a ball over the top. McDonald is in. It's just McDonald again. And the flag is up. It seemed like she was in offside position. confirmed by the assistant referee.
The modern day officiating allowed the play to go all the way through, but she was in an offside position, McDonald's, and I think the defenders for North Carolina realized that. Did the right thing, play to the whistle. Here it is again. As you can see, that is onside, and VAR will have something to say about this. McDonald did the right thing. No VAR. And the official's call stands.
Unfortunate there for Jess McDonald. She timed her run perfectly. O'Sullivan wide for Pickett. The cross comes in, well read by Lund.
Again, Lund anticipating the cross and taking the pressure for defenders, commanding that box. You know, we're great keepers on shot stopping, but I tell you what, crosses are the hardest things to do as a goalkeeper.
Back for Murphy. In a good spot for Pickett, well defended by DeMello.
Now that little snapshot right there is exactly what Louisville needs. Put the pressure on North Carolina. Do not give them any outlets. Just like how North Carolina out-hustled Louisville in that first half, the same thing has to be done in return for Louisville to get back into this game.
Malay thought she kept it in. McDonald pleading her case.
And McDonald trying to remind the official the whole ball has to go over the line. If a piece of the ball is on the line, it's still in play.
Ersic. That's a good win. Howell stepped to take it from O'Sullivan. Into the channel for Jess McDonald's. Kaiser to her left. The cross comes off. Just too far for Kaiser.
Matt, as that ball gets turned over in midfield now, or just in front of the defense, McDonald is getting chances because of the counter press. The midfield is now turning the ball over quickly and getting the ball to her feet in stride. Second time in the last 2 minutes.
Throw into Racing Louisville. And Jess McDonald's hit the post in the first half. Judge offside on a very close call a moment ago. And that time a 2v2 break. Here's Dabinia, wide with Pickett. Good
Great
cover.
Read. Great read.
Malay slid over to win it. Racing Louisville growing into this game as Ersic slides over.
Great play by North Carolina. Let Louisville earn every bit of possession here. Go from side to side. Do not give up possession. If you're in trouble, then go long. Don't take any chances if you're wearing a white shirt right now. Keep it safe, exactly what you're doing right now, and make the team in black earn every possession.
North Carolina not operating with the same rhythm as the first half in tempo, but a 2-goal lead as Fox will throw it in. It feels like Fox has slid over from right back to left back after the departure of Rebecca Holloway. Good turn. Dabinia faces up. And there is Malay. Malay was further up the field in the first half with the departure of Rebecca Holloway. It's Malay now at right back.
Well, right now they're playing such a high line, Louisville. They are forcing Caroline to make runs behind, which she's not comfortable doing. She wants the ball to her feet. And that's really compressing the field and putting a lot of pressure on North Carolina.
Here's Fox on the left side. Davis. Kirsten Davis deflected across. Corner kick here to Racing Louisville.
Well, the last 5 minutes, Louisville has owned it. And what they need right now is a goal, just like North Carolina did off of a set piece, to try and get a foothold back in this game.
Corner kick here for Savannah DeMello. Good delivery into a crowd. Murphy punches away. The header is saved by Murphy. She did so well to keep an eye on the ball as it was fighting through traffic. Well, Alex Chidiak with the header.
Murphy asking the question for the foul right here. A lot of bodies around up, a good strong goalkeeping on both instances. Owning that 6-yard box and a good strong punch on the second save.
Chidiak seeking her first NWSL goal. 23-year-old Australian with a good chance there. Here's another good delivery, headed straight in the air and finally out by Ursik.
So if you're North Carolina now, you're basically weathering the storm of Louisville. 15 minutes in now, a lot of energy spent by Racing Louisville to try and get this thing back, to try and get one goal back. 15 minutes gone. Let's see the energy levels of this Louisville team as it progresses for the next 10 minutes.
Great acoustics inside Lynn Family Stadium. Trying to push the home side on, down 2-0. North Carolina in position for its first regular season win. Racing Louisville staring at back-to-back defeats if they can't erase this 2-0 deficit. Here's Pinto in the channel. Malay slid over well. Back for Lund. Good pressure. Better composure from Louisville. Chidiak all the way back with Julia Lester. Malay. Work rate from Pinto.
Unbelievable work rate by Pinto. Covered so much ground.
Seemed to be no call, and then after maybe consultation with the fourth official, the call was given.
Tough call on Pinto. Looks like she got a piece of it. Didn't see that much contact, but I think the intent was there. She had a full head of steam.
Here's Pinto working. DeMello's done really well here. Wide, and the cross does not come off. It's right at Murphy.
Well, Malay just couldn't hook a foot around the ball to get it into the penalty spot area. Sort of spliced off and went straight to Murphy.
You know, Pinto gets the start. We've had conversations about her with Sean Mayhaus, who helped develop her in her younger days as a youth player, and he said she's still learning all the little things about being a pro. He said last year with Gotham didn't play much. This is more of her true rookie season, and game by game I think we're seeing more on the defensive end from Pinto. Caroline trying to turn the corner. That's good defending from Julia Lester, who does just enough.
Brilliant. Body up, bodying up Caroline, forcing her on the outside. And as nimble as Caroline is, she doesn't have as sturdy as a physical presence as other forwards do, and was shrugged off quite easily. Excellent defending by Julian Lester.
Pickett commits the foul. Racing Louisville looking to play quickly. Malay. Gemma Bonner. Long diagonal from Bonner. Matthias wins the header. Immediately gets out to the wide areas. It's a good turn inside the box. Matthias recovered well. She'll concede the corner. Good turn of pace there from Alex Chidiak.
Well, 2 for 2 on defending. That is copybook defending, using your body, just pushing the attacker away from the goal and getting your body in between the ball and the goal on both instances between Lindsay and Matthias.
Corner kick coming here. Savannah DeMello delivers. Pinto heads away. Helped on, it's out for a goal kick. Not clinical enough inside the box for Racing Louisville. Well, here is the return from Nadia Nadim. Missed the last 8 months after tearing her ACL against Orlando last September. Great moment to see her back on the fields. Meanwhile, North Carolina brings off Pinto all smiles in her first regular season start, replaced by veteran Meredith Speck.
But with Nadim coming on the pitch, Matt, that means Louisville are going to go to 2 forwards and really amp things up and try to play a lot more direct into Nadim's and McDonald's feet and see if they can create something.
Nadim for CC Kaiser. The other change, Amina Ekic entered. And she replaces Alex Chidiak. And it's great to see Nadim back. It's a little earlier maybe than Kim Bjorkegren expected. He told us this week she can't play 90, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, but he brings her on here in the 67th minute.
You know, there has to be a little bit of trust with your players as well. They understand what they've just come back from. May not go 100% over 24 minutes, but may go 80% at 24 minutes. Play a little bit with the handbrakes up, as they say.
And if you're going to give the doubt to anyone, you might as well give it to Nadia Nadim, who is a doctor.
She's a lot smarter than I am, so I'm going to trust in her.
O'Sullivan peeked over the shoulder, goes back to Kurtz, the goal scorer. 4th minute goal from Kurtz, and then first half stoppage time, Diana Ordonez. That's a great ball from O'Sullivan for Pickett. Pickett to the back post, just over Ordonez. I think we're going to see that for a long time. Pickett delivering, Ordonez on the end of it.
Does Pickett even hit a bad cross? I think the last time she hit a bad cross, she was like 13 years old.
Yes. It's so fun to watch. And Ordonez growing in confidence with the timing of those runs. That was close to a 3rd goal for North Carolina. It's tough. You can think about Carson Pickett all week. You can plan for it. But then when the moment happens, it's a ball from O'Sullivan that releases her. And it's amazing a player of her quality gets that much space.
Correct. I mean, it's the human effect.
Now it's on for Louisville. 4 versus 2. DeMello. Running at Ursig, it's DeMello!
Oh.
Good cover from Kurtz. Center back partners there. Kurtz covering for Ursig.
Well, the US U23 player, talk about bravery. Driving the ball in open space, not giving up responsibility. Snaps it back onto her left foot, and good defending in the end by the center back for North Carolina, but that's what DeMello can give you.
Ekic right off the bench to deliver the corner kick, and you could see the look on the face of Ursig, no panic at all, understanding Kurtz was behind her and how long they've played together, knowing she had the support. That's a great win from Debinha.
Center-back partnerships are invaluable.
Caroline to her left, Ordonez in a full sprint. Slightly off from one Brazilian to another.
Yep, Debinha had Caroline in her sights and didn't see Ordonez in her peripheral on her right-hand side. And Ordonez would have been off to the races and one-on-one.
Here's Speck. And the pressure leads to a turnover. And you have to respect the pressure from North Carolina, not sitting on a 2-goal lead away from home through 69 minutes.
We talked about this, Matt. It's bigger than this 90 minutes. This is for their season to get back on track. And the players realize that.
Good turn from Speck. Her first touch is off the bench, but the flag was up. The next North Carolina Courage home game, Saturday, June 19th against the suddenly surging Houston Dash. Go to nccourage.com/tickets to purchase yours today. The Dash unbeaten in 5, a 5-0 home win last night. First ever hat trick in club history. First hat trick at club level for Nichelle Prince. At the start of today, the Dash in second place in the NWSL.
And let's talk about the Dash getting that 1-1 draw on the weekend against North Carolina. North Carolina up 1-0, and Dash somehow finding a way to get that draw while only having 35% possession. So credit to Houston Dash clawing their way on a tough game against North Carolina.
Now, many will talk about the goals. Daly's been excellent. Prince had the hat trick, but the defensive record, 3 goals against through 6 games. That's been the difference. And Sarah Loudon, the acting head coach, has found the organization on the defensive end. Louisville now 20 minutes left to get 2 goals back. Nadia Nadim is back. First appearance since last September when she tore her ACL against Orlando Pride. But bringing energy to this group, partnering Jess McDonald up front. It's been done recently in this league. Orlando Pride last week, down 2-0 second half stoppage time, scored in the 95th and 98th minutes to earn a point.
Oh man, make no mistake. 1 goal from Louisville turns this thing entirely upside down. Doubt starts to creep in, and then the team that has just scored the goal to get back to 2-1 now has all the momentum. So, like you said, this thing is completely well within reach for Louisville if they just conjure up that 1 goal.
Here's Howell.
Beauty.
It's on here. Oh, nice turn. Matthias just got a foot to it against Ekic. It's a goal kick. Matthias never gives up on the play. Even when she's beaten, she'll stick with it. And that time, just enough. It seemed like Ekic had a chance to get the cross away.
Great recovery, but what about the ball by Howell? She sort of spliced it and went right into the path. And then in the end, great recovery by Matthias.
Murphy will go long here. We've heard the instruction most of the night from Kim Bjorkegren. Last time we heard too deep. We've heard him ask his players to be tight. I think his box midfield's giving trouble to Racing Louisville. Because typically, if you're in that role, like Howell, like DeMello, you have time on the ball. You're a defensive midfielder. But with the pressure put on by Debinha, by Pinto when she was in, by a dropping off Caroline, less time on the ball to distribute.
Absolutely correct. And then when that congestion comes, guess who opens it up for? It opens up for someone like Pickett, who's constantly making that run down the left-hand channel.
That was Nadim. Speck will slow things down. O'Sullivan, too heavy for Pickett.
This is where the fresh legs are going to make a difference. 73 minutes out. These 2 teams have just spent every ounce of energy to get the scoreline the way it is, especially for North Carolina. Can they withstand the last 16 minutes of play with the amount of energy they've spent to get this 2-0 scoreline?
Nadia Nadim, 3 goals, 2 assists last year in 8 appearances. It's the last 8 months after the torn ACL. Great to see her back.
Oh, beautiful.
Ooh, and a nutmeg to boot from Debinha into the path of Caroline. Ordonez wants that run. Caroline, low delivery. Bonner does well again. Now Bonner's going to leave it for Lund.
That's interesting.
Clearly not an intentional pass from Bonner.
Can we see that Debinha clip again? And that should be on Sports Center from now until next week, Sunday. It was unbelievable. The trap, then the dribble, and then the ball to Caroline. Just sublime by the Brazilian.
And we're starting to see the recognition from Ordonez, the goal scorer. Every single time it gets to that wide area, she's making the back post run, offering a great target.
Yep, absolutely. She's been selfless on that right-hand side, understanding what Caroline can give and what Debinha can give on the ball. Ordonez knowing her role and just running through that channel tirelessly for the full 90 minutes.
Merritt Mathias in the book for North Carolina Courage.
The referee has shown a yellow card to North Carolina's number 11.
Hard challenge. Mathias against Amina Ekic. Kurtz does not take a chance, concede to throw it. Here's Fox. Ekic against Mathias. Corner kick. Can Racing Louisville capitalize from a corner? Came close earlier in the half. Alex Chidiak had the header.
There's Tabinia again. Look at this trap. Boom, that's one. Through the legs. And that's number two. Just absolute Brazilian being Brazilian.
Back-to-back nutmegs. You do not see that too often. Here it comes from DeMello. Strong-headed clearance. Ordonez helping out, then sacrificing her body as she leads the counterattack. Confident Diana Ordonez, her second straight game with a goal.
Matt, let's not downplay the first nutmeg was off of a trap.
Yes.
Okay, that's like not seen. Unbelievable skill.
And that's why Sean Nahas will live with the back heel attempted in the first half, which nearly led to a Racing Louisville goal, because the result of that is she keeps trying it and then plays like that come off. There's a slicing cross cleared by Ursig. It falls to Nadim. Hard challenge from Pickett. It's still alive. Malay's cross to the back post, but the flag is up. Frustrating night for Jess McDonald. Offside several occasions. One looked like a borderline call earlier in the half.
I tell you what, the official is having a tough time on that right-hand side. Like you mentioned, the McDonald call a couple of minutes ago. Another inch in favor of North Carolina this time.
Well, she also hit the post at 1-0.
Correct.
Nearly tied it up against her former team, with whom she won 5 trophies. Better here from Racing Louisville. It's Lauren Malay taking the space. Just that final decision, right? You get near the box.
Again, great run by Malay, driving the ball in space, expecting McDonald to make that run, just not on the same page. It's a long way up when you're down 2-0. Everything has to be perfect.
Look at this run from the defensive line from Julia Lester all the way forward. DeMello intending to cross that for McDonald. Instead, it's right at the goalkeeper, Casey Murphy.
Matt, we're seeing these midfielders making these marauding runs because the players are starting to get tired. North Carolina spending so much energy in that first half and the opening 15 minutes. Now starting to hang their heads a little bit with fatigue. And Louisville starting to take advantage.
Mathias, won by Fox. She did well to step in front of Caroline. The touches in the opposing box even at 14-14. Final third entries, an advantage of 60-39 for North Carolina. Here's another Caroline. Away from Olofsson, her shot easily handled by Katie Lund.
The last chance created was from Pickett, from a cross. It seemed to be like about 10 minutes ago. We got Caroline with a bit of individuality just now. Have to believe North Carolina just sort of holding on right now. And it's up to Racing Louisville to try and get that goal. But can they conjure up a goal with North Carolina now starting to sit back and congest the 18-yard box?
Well, they stepped well. Pickett wins it. Pickett immediately to the attack. And here's Speck in the corner. Speck will run it down. Has options to her right. Meredith Speck surveying. Top of the box. Caroline lays it back. Ordonez. Never seemed fully confident. Caught between two ideas and then sliced it past the post.
Well, I'm not a physics teacher, but the only way she can get that ball at the last post is if she bends it in the other direction. This time she sort of spliced it and it drifted wide of the last post.
Bending ball, covered by Ursig in front of DeMello.
Ooh,
Back pass to Murphy right in front of Jess McDonald.
beautiful ball by Murphy though. Right on Pickett's chest to finish it up with.
O'Sullivan, Speck, into Benia. That's wonderful, intricate play. And then a curling run from Caroline to stay onside, but the pass was a bit heavy.
Again, the high line by Racing, and Caroline almost making that diagonal run to get open.
Nadim lost it to Berkeley. Flag is down. Caroline wide for Speck. Meredith Speck bending ball. Ordonez arriving. And Fox so confident playing that one back to Lund.
She was almost drinking a cup of tea just in top of the 6-yard box and laid it back for Lund. Brilliant play by Fox.
Now it's on back the other way. Racing Louisville inside the box.
Oh.
And it's right at Murphy. Good run from Eckert. She's been excellent since coming on.
Well, she's had 8 shots so far this season, most of them coming off of the bench. And again, being that spark plug on that left-hand side, doing exactly what she's supposed to do. Be aggressive, be direct. Gets another shot off there.
Denise O'Sullivan. There's just such an understanding with North Carolina, veteran group. Most of these players have played together for 3, 4, 5 years or more. And the ball goes to a certain spot, they move as a group.
Correct. You cannot get stretched, especially defensively. And with this 4-2-2 formation, the ball is going to be played short in tight spaces more often than not, because you're not playing with a natural width formation, only by your fullback. So the collective 2-2-2 have to stay together as close as possible.
Neely Martin will come on for Racing Louisville. It looks like a triple change from North Carolina and Sean Nahas. Ryan Williams, Taylor Smith, and one more. I'll wait a moment. Merritt Mathias and Caroline. Both their nights are over. Very impressive. Caroline played very well, and she goes 83 minutes in her first appearance in a month.
What a performance by a center forward. Not only did she just cause havoc running at players, she linked up the midfield with the forward line early and often. And the rest of the team just gained confidence with her being on the pitch.
Ebony Salmon also will enter alongside Neely Martin. Laura Malay walks to the bench.
So Sean Nahas taking off Caroline. It suggests that they are just going to try to hold out for the next 8 minutes. And with all the fresh legs coming in for Louisville, they're just going to throw the kitchen sink at North Carolina right now to try and get a goal in the next 2 or 3 minutes, and then ask the question for the next 3 minutes.
Jalen Howell also comes off. Ebony Salmon, 6 goals last season for Racing Louisville, yet to score here in 2022.
Oh.
She has a chance here. Salmon. Still Salmon, and it's cleared.
Well, first touch of the ball as a sub. It's a tough touch. Got the defender right back in the play, and North Carolina can breathe a sigh of relief.
Good cross. Excellent clearing header from Ursig. Ryan Williams out to close the space against Fox. Fox's shot is blocked. Good cover there.
And that's why Bjorkgren wants Fox to become that fullback finisher. Instead of being a crosser of the ball, getting into that spot where she can finish or create with a pass, not just with a cross. Emily Fox has a lot to offer coming from that fullback role.
Murphy punts away. The other change, Jaylene Daniels for Malia Berkeley. So Daniels is back on. She had started up top the last few games in place of Caroline, and I thought a really good performance once again from Malia Berkeley. Speck. Daniels' first touch is off the bench. Dabinia. Daniels. Sullivan tried to turn, lost it to Nadim. Ursig steps in front. Space now for Taylor Smith. Her first touch off the bench with Ryan Williams.
Good patience by North Carolina. No rush. You know, you're looking at we constantly talk about the 4-2-2-2, okay? When you're holding a lead now and you need some sort of width to make the other team work, you're seeing how the formation is limited. There's a lot of congestion through the middle and nowhere to go because there's no natural width to move the ball from left to right. And you can see Louisville now starting to pick off the passes, not only now, but the last 15 minutes. And you can see because the fullbacks can't get up there in time, you can see the midfield and the forwards being stuck in this one-way traffic, this one road of traffic.
Here's Fox. She stayed onside. Good work from Emily Fox, working against Ryan Williams, but the flag was up. Again, Louisville in an offside position. Slowed down their attack tonight. Good veteran group back there for North Carolina, consistently keeping a tight line. Here's another change for Sean Nahas in North Carolina. Jorian Bockham will come on for the goal scorer, Diana Ordonez.
2 for 2 for Ordonez. The youngster has so much confidence right now. It's one of those nights when she goes off, takes off her cleats, and is looking forward to the next game already.
Bockham, first year with North Carolina. She played with Racing Louisville last year, so she's facing her former team as well. Before that time in Germany with Duisburg. Ally is proud to support this presentation of the National Women's Soccer League. Ally, do it right. Ekic. She's brought energy for Louisville. Here's Nadim.
Louisville, with all the fresh players coming on in the last couple of minutes, are now totally out of sync. The players all coming in at one time. No one has rhythm. Half the team has changed on the field, and now they're just heaving the ball forward.
It's behind Williams, but she recovered well. Smith. Back the other way with Julia Lester. Ekic. Fox. Well defended. Ursig slid over. Ursig and Kurtz have played together a long time. They really move as a tandem.
And that just makes it so much easier when you could just sort of understand each other's movements and your shortcomings, so the other player compensates for it. Whether it's a pass the other player can't make, the other player knows that, so they show for them and make the pass and make the combination complete.
Wide switch. Emily Fox. Low delivery, cleared by Kurtz. Oh, well-weighted ball. Salmon with options. Ebony Salmon, shot is blocked. Kept alive by Olofsson. Neely Martin. That's Williams. Jumped in the passing lane. Now she has Bockham. That's Bonner again. She's been everywhere for Racing Louisville.
A great read by Williams. Good rhythm by Louisville. They finally had something going, and Williams sort of bailed them out with the anticipation. But again, There's no chance of holding possession for North Carolina. And Louisville are going to bring that ball right back down within seconds.
Emily Fox. Nadia Nadim. Into second half stoppage time. A minimum of 4 minutes stoppage time is presented by Verizon.
Still an eternity for Louisville. They just need that one goal to create some sort of doubt in North Carolina.
Taylor Smith
Onside.
over the top. The flag is down. Here goes Dabinia. Bockham to her right. It's Dabinia walking it in. 3 for North Carolina. She has run all night and rewarded in second half stoppage time with a goal.
She makes it look so easy, Matt, and it's not easy. From nutmegging players in one half to finishing on the other. The Brazilian playing the samba, looks up and just goes across the keeper's body into the side netting. Second goal of the season, and she makes something so hard look so easy. She wearing the number 10 on the back for a reason. Beautiful play by Dabinia to cap off an incredible performance. An assist for the first goal and scoring the third. And might I say, she was intricate for the second goal as well. She was the pass before the pass for Matthias to cross that ball to Adonias. It was Dabinia who set up that second goal as well. So she had a hand in all 3 goals tonight. Do we get to vote for player of the game?
You get the vote. You get the only vote. Who's yours?
Starts with a D, Matt. Starts
Okay.
with a D.
Ebony Salmon.
You know, the third goal comes in the 91st minute. But much like the fourth goal, it has taken the crowd right out. It has taken the crowd right out of the game since the 4th minute. And this North Carolina team has come into Louisville and made a statement. We talked about it. It's bigger than the 90 minutes. They have started to dig themselves out of the hole they've created. And I think this performance is really going to set the stage for them.
Good settling touch from Smith, trying to release Bockham. But good defending, and now a chance for Racing Louisville back the other way. DeMello slips it through. McDonald trying to turn. That's Daniels clearing. Dabinia, who just scored her 25th career regular season goal, still running. And I love the urgency. We're neutrals, we're enjoying this game, but at every moment when North Carolina could have taken its foot off the gas, they pushed forward, especially first half stoppage time. Only 1 minute added on. Many teams would have said, let's play it safe, let's see it out. They pushed, they got a second goal, and here in second half stoppage time, North Carolina has a third.
We have to give credit to this man, Sean Nahas. That comes from coaching and the coaching staff, creating an attitude at halftime, understanding the game, understanding your season, where you are, and relating that to your players. So when the players step out onto the pitch, whenever they're indecisive, whenever they're second-guessing themselves, they realize what is at stake tonight for their season. And they have responded as such. Sean Nahas, round of applause.
She scored in 5 straight in the Challenge Cup, en route to the Challenge Cup MVP honors for the 2nd straight year. And really, I think it's so many little things with North Carolina. When you're the visiting team and you run to take throw-ins, you run to take corner kicks, you play the urgency like you're the home team, it's demoralizing for the visiting team when they're down.
You're setting the tempo. When the other team's supposed to be playing the host and setting the tempo, you, the visitor, are creating the speed of the game.
Bockham in an offside position. One game does not make a season, but it feels like this is the North Carolina courage. It's just been dominant across the NWSL for years and won the Challenge Cup.
Especially having a good team like Houston Dash on the ropes the last game for the Dash to come back and equalize after having 65% possession.
Sean Nahas, friendly handshake. Kim Bjorkegren and the coaching staff for Racing Louisville. All smiles for Dabinia, O'Sullivan and company. 3 different goal scorers. A first regular season goal for Kaylee Kurtz. A 25th regular season goal in Debinya's fine NWSL career. And in between, a second straight game with the goal for Diana Ordonez. North Carolina, its first win of the regular season. Facing Louisville its second straight defeat. Now North Carolina, the aggressors from the first minute. And a building block for the Challenge Cup champions as they try and climb the NWSL table.
Tell you what, with that sort of defensive intensity, the pressing and then the attacking play.
Now time for the game-changing play brought to you by Ally.
Debinya pulling the strings, going from left all the way to the right-hand side. And what about this bit of service by Mateus? And Ordonez climbing, finishing. Game over, 2-0.
That really is a good header. She's way past the post. She's off the goal and have that kind of power to beat Lunds.
Textbook across the goalkeeper's body. Fantastic.
All smiles for North Carolina Courage. 3 points on the banks of the Ohio River. North Carolina Courage 3, Racing Louisville nothing. We'll come back to wrap it up after this.